All right.
Dizzy.
Oh no.
That has to be a part of the blooper.
And Blake.
And welcome to
Savagely Scaled.
Oh, what a start. That's setting the vibe. I
This
love
is
it.
yeah. This is a late night family visit, just all kinds of fun
And your birthday.
for this episode, yeah.
And
But
Shayla's
this is
birthday.
our check-in
And Amy's birthday.
and to see how March went for us.
Dude, I know. March was busy.
It was really busy, but I feel like March, April, and May are
busy.
yeah, because it's just how it comes. Because like January's not really busy for me. It's just the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
February wasn't really busy. I know you had more stuff going on in February. March is just a busy month.
Okay.
Yeah, so you had the open in February. You had the qualifying for NCC. Was that in January?
February, right? Was it in January?
That was in February too. You just like been hitting this year hard.
I know, and it's barely March. We're still in March. That's crazy. Well, we're about to be in April.
The last day is tomorrow.
I know. Still.
But
Well,
yeah, because you had NCC, then you had traveling, then you had open, then you had quarterfinals. That's a lot. And just like what, basically 2 months.
yeah, we're not even a quarter into the year, but yeah, that's a lot.
You killed it.
Yeah, I did a lot. I did a lot this year so
Yeah.
far. Now that you put it into perspective and write it out like that, I'm like, oh man, you're right. It's been a lot of stuff going on.
Man. See, and you've done amazing. Qualifying for NCC, qualifying for quarterfinals, you know, doing great things. And I feel like I know last year wasn't like what you deemed as the best, but girl, I need you to remember the beginning of this year because you are just check, 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 check.
That's true. I started making
Yeah.
time. I started making time for those goals, man. It's actually not as hard as
Yeah. Yeah. What was your March goal again?
well, we were kind of like adding on to the goals we've already had. I think.
Yeah, because you had January was water, right? February was stretching.
Yeah, so working on my mobility, and then we started adding like doing overhead squats as like a thing at least 3 times a week. So I started doing that, which paid off a lot because I did
It
have overhead
did.
squats in the quarterfinals. So it came into play. And like when I look at the video, I'm like, oh man, my mobility is looking a whole lot better than it used to, because before I could barely hang on to the thing or was leaning forward a lot. But I've noticed a lot of like significant like improvements in that for me. I mean, obviously I could always do more, but compared to where I was, like it's definitely shown. And I'm still doing at least 3 times a week of like 3 to 5 reps of overhead squats. And I was just doing the barbell for a good while, and then I started moving up to like, okay, 5 pounds to 10 pounds on each side. So around like, what was it, like 45, 55 pounds. So I've been playing with that lately, and then hopefully just, gaining and adding more to that. Ideally right now I think my max was a 90, which I was pretty proud of. And then quarterfinals had an 80-pound one, and I was like,
80.
gosh,
Yeah.
that's really close to my max. But I was like, you know what? We're just gonna do it and like pray it all works out. And luckily it went pretty surprisingly well. But there's some things I need to work on for sure. But that was my goal for this past month, and I've been keeping up with it consistently. I'm not gonna lie, the water one, there has been a day or two where maybe I completely like swayed and lost it. But then I remind myself real quick, and I'm like, all right, got to make up for it today. And it's kind of easy to remind yourself, like, it's okay. We're going to have those days. Just pick right up. Don't let it like mess up the rest of your week.
Yeah.
So for that one, I did have some slip ups, and then toes to bar was another goal that I've been working towards. I feel like that one, I've been doing kind of a lot of core exercises, but I haven't really been working on drills. So I feel like I need to start doing a little bit more of that, because I feel like it translates a little bit, but I feel like I'm not fully quite at the sinking part when it comes to the toes.
Yeah.
So I need to figure that out versus just making my core strong, I think. So I think that's going to be my upcoming goal, is like, don't just do kind of the supplemental exercises, but add on to like more skill work.
Yeah, there's so many more skill drills that you can do, and you can make like a Tabata out of the skill drills, or even do it before You, like, use it as a
Workout.
warm up. Mhm. Or post either one if we didn't do toes to bar or something that day, you could do a post one and do it as a Tabata with other drills for other things, like, you can make it fun or you could just be like, "Okay, I gotta do this drill 3 times."
Yeah.
So, I feel like you've been putting in a lot of work and being more consistent with your, core work, your overhead squats, and wanting to add drills to things, I think would just better and that doesn't mean like, okay, if Joycey is taking out the core and now adding more drills, she's still maintaining a core, but now doing,
Like an
what is
effective
it?
way.
Like yeah, and you're stepping up into now I'm doing drills for, um, timing compared to I was strengthening my hip flexors or my core for the actual movement, now I'm working into timing. So it's all gonna put into something. So I feel like it works out. Like you said, like stacking things up is just what we chose to do this year. And it is, we're gonna fall off the wagon because like you're stacking these little goals up, it's gonna happen. We're gonna have vacation days, we're gonna have other days, and just you not being like, "Okay, well, now that's over. I'm not gonna do it again," or "That's okay. I'll just, give up on it." Things like that. Because I feel we do that a lot where if we don't hit it 100% one day,
Mhm.
then it just starts to trickle down and be like, "Okay, well, I didn't do it Monday. Okay, I didn't do it for 3 days. Now I didn't do it for a week. Now I'm hard on myself. Now I'm upset." Maybe you needed that day or that week or things just don't happen for that goal. And then, like you said, just know, like, okay, I'm going to hit it that week, the next day or the next week. You have to give some leniency.
Yeah, give yourself some grace because it's hard. It's definitely hard to like continue showing up and doing it and staying an extra few minutes after. And you're right, there's some moments where I'm like, oh, I have to go do this today. I can't stay an extra 15 minutes, and having to work around that is it feels like an inconvenience, but at the end of the day, like when you see the results, it's kind of like, oh man, it looks like it actually did work. Like it wasn't just a bunch of hooey. Um,
Yeah.
so it's kind of nice to see it finally translate and pay off and things like that. But yeah, girl, now that you mention it, I have been busy. I've been busy doing a lot, but
Yeah.
but it's been good.
But I think that helps you with staying consistent sometimes. It tires us out, but it also, I don't know if like that was also a generational thing. My mom always kept me busy.
Mhm.
So, like, if my goals are keeping me busy or if I have not maybe not goals, if I have things to set up and be like, "Okay, in 3 weeks, I have to do this, so this goal does work with it. In 2 months, I have to do this." It's easier to have that compared to, "Okay, starting in January, I have something in December. We're
Mm.
just gonna quit because it's, a year away." So I feel like it works out for like both of us when we have quicker goals or quicker things to be like, oh, I want to do that. Okay, it's going to push me to do it and I'm going to do it.
Or breaking it down even further, like you said, right? Like I think when I had initially started, I had this whole broad goal, and then you're like, okay, well, let's make it a little bit smaller and see how we can kind of make it a little bit more manageable. And I think that's kind of the best way to start is kind of setting it like in a more manageable something that you know you can do versus something that you know is already going to lead you to possibly like failure, and kind of working your way up that way. It definitely feels like you're progressing into something like, okay, I need to make sure I do it once a week, and then it goes to like twice a week, and slowly kind of integrating it
Mhm.
that way, I think works best. But yeah, to your point, I think, every week's going to bring something different, something new, whether it's stress, whether it's school, whether it's kids, whether it's work. Like there's always going to be something that might get in the way. And it's just like a fine balance of figuring out how to work and incorporate it. But yeah, it's definitely nice to finally see the results of all of that work kind of happening and culminating. So definitely planning on keeping that. But like I said, after doing like quarterfinals and all of that, I was like, okay, it's obvious that my skill work needs work, and it seems like that seems to be consistently the biggest thing that I seem to hit a wall with. So I'm like, I really need to hone that down, and toaster bars has always been that first thing that I wanted to do first. So I need to get that down too. Just do more drill work and less just core focus exercises, I guess. But yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully we'll get that next time. But
Yeah, I think that's good. It's like doing like when people are like, "Oh, I want pull-ups." Okay, well, that could be like your end goal, but you have to do all these little things like, why don't you start? We always say start with negatives,
Yep.
and people just are like, I can't. Either like you can't do it because you're like,
They're
your
hard.
body just doesn't know how to. Yeah, they are. Or you're just like, really doing that? And it is like, okay, well, what's stopping you? Okay. Are you thinking that you're just gonna have to do negatives for a whole year? Things like that. I'm like, then break it into a month. Okay, for January, I'm going to do you know, 3 sets of 10 negatives or 3 sets of 5 negatives after class or before class or something. And then, you know, January, it's the goal to February. Now I'm adding, something else to what pull ups and working on my lat strength. You can do that by stacking goals up for one big goal. It's just when we get like how we all do with CrossFit. I want pull ups, I want toes to bar, I want bar muscle ups, I want this, I want that, I want this. And we have to strengthen first what our body needs to be,
Foundations.
stronger in before we can be like, oh, I just want everything. I want double arms. I want that. Okay. What is the thing you want most? And let's work on that. And I am glad that you're starting thinking about doing drills. And that's like the biggest thing. And if you're ready for it, I feel like a lot of people are like, I want this. And then you give them some skills to work on. And they're like, no, you got to be ready. You got to be open and be like, okay, if I really, really want it, I am going to
Make time
do
for it.
this for it. Yep. And make time for it. It is like the big word of an inconvenience. Do you know sometimes when I lift, sometimes lifting is an inconvenience because when we would have to build to a max for that day and then do drop sets, that can take me like 2 hours. Or if I'm doing like 2 lifts that way, it could take me an hour to find a snatch max and then I have to do drop sets and now I have to do clean and jerks and do the same thing. There's 2 hours. And
Mhm.
then I also have accessory work. Why am I here for so long? Sometimes my brain does that. This is inconvenience, but this is what I wanted to get me stronger. So we all have those days with our goals. Our goals can get in our way of life.
True.
But it's moving on and double checking. Then is this what I really want? Because I do have to put work into it. I am not a natural athlete in certain things, so I do have to put work into things. And even the natural athletes hit their limit and have to put work into things.
That is true.
Mhm.
But they get the free protein powders and the free flea
I
workout.
know, they get everything.
I'm so jealous. I'm just kidding. That
But
would be
then they gotta
nice.
sometimes when the Olympics happen and everything and they go, "Oh, this is the person to watch," and then they fail, and I'm like, "Oh, no, that poor person." Yeah, the pressure or just the buildup, we see it at the CrossFit Games sometimes, and you're like, people, sometimes we have bad weeks. You don't know what happened before or in training or,
Mhm.
you know,
Yep.
when they got there, if they were sick, if there's so many things that pop up, they get it too.
That is true, man. That is true.
Mhm.
Well, on a lighter note, Walter Martins, I looked him up because I was like, I wonder how much he weighs and how tall he is. And I
Yeah.
was talking about like, oh, how much do we weigh as athletes or whatnot? And he's like 190 pounds and he's 5'4". I was like, he's a
See,
little
I was telling
tiny.
somebody was like, "He is definitely." It wasn't you that I was talking to, it was another
I thought
short
he's
person,
less.
they're like, "Huh?"
I thought he was less weight or what?
They thought that he was, my height. It's another short person because they
Well, it
were
says
like, "Oh,
5'4".
he's our height," and I was like, "He's not, he's like five
There's no way.
five."
Yeah.
I was like, "He's 5'5" or 5'4", and
Yeah,
they're
it
like,
says
"No,
5'4".
no, he's definitely like 5'1", 5'2", and I was like,
No.
"No, here's the thing, like the NFL, I for sure I I was like, "Oh, those men are like kind of like the camera adds weight and height." Don't laugh at me, but if you want to, at least you're at home laughing at me and I can't hear you. But my husband was like, "No, most of them are like 6 foot." And I'm like, "I thought that was only in basketball."
No.
And he's like, "No, like a short NFL player is like 5'11", 5'10", and I was like, "No way!" And
Right.
he's like, "Yeah, they're, like, all tall and big." And I feel like that's how CrossFit is, that we
Mhm.
do have taller ones, like, Brent Fikowski was really, really tall. I feel like, James Sprague is very tall, but you look at
Yeah.
Hopper's tall, and Dallin Pepper's tall. Matt Frazier was on the
The shorter end.
shorter side, but I
Mhm.
also think he's, like, 5'6".
Yeah, he was
I
definitely on
feel
the
like
shorter
Colton
end.
Mertens is,
The
like, the
5'10"
shortest, and
champ.
yeah,
So, just saying.
yeah, but yeah, they were like, "He's definitely 5'2", and I was like, "Definitely not,
No.
he's just
5'4" seems right.
average."
5'4" seems
Yeah,
right. When I read that, I was like, "That seems
yeah.
right." What surprised me was the 190. I was like, "Oh, man, he's a little tank." He's a tank, dude.
Well, I thought he would be a little bit maybe a
Bigger?
little bit heavier because he's so thick.
He is thick. He's a
Yeah,
small package.
but no, that 190 is close to 2, so
Yeah, it's pretty up there.
yeah, he's just like they're all
So
walking around like
impressive.
a bunch of muscle, but he's, like, all just
Yeah,
yeah.
he's a thick boy.
That's yeah,
I
that's
love him, though. I'm
interesting.
really rooting for him this year, and
He
I
is,
think
I
he's
hope
great.
nothing goes wrong or nothing
You guys,
breaks on
yeah,
him,
no.
like,
That'd
I'm
be
just
awful.
I'm happy that he won the Open,
Mhm. It's so
you
impressive.
know? It is,
Like,
and he puts
"Yay,
in so
the
much
little
work, and he's
people."
so yeah,
Shorties.
average.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he's not average, that's not average
We're
man like,
definitely
5'6"
shorties.
is an average guy.
We're
Yeah, he's
definitely
even
in the
short
shorty
for a
tier.
guy, right? Which is fine, we need somebody to root for who's short.
See, he should come up with a T-shirt that speaks to that. I would totally buy it. I'm trying to think of a good slogan. Anyway.
Me too. I was like, shorties before
Like
nope, there's
the
nothing
Flight
that
Club
rhymes that
soda.
we live
That's
with.
not gonna.
Yeah.
That sounds really good.
Yeah. We really need to get on that and then be like, "Hey, Colton, totally back us up with this."
Right? Okay, see, we're coming
And
up
he
with
said he
ideas. We're brainstorming.
yeah,
Yeah, that's funny.
we
Ha
know you are,
ha.
man, so
Ha
thank you.
ha. Hey, I'd be down to meet Colton too, man. I've heard he's gone to the NCC last year, so.
Oh, any of them, like, any of them that put in all that work and that's what they get to do and they love doing it, like,
Mhm.
just being around strong people and it'd just be fun to meet any of them,
Yeah.
as long as they're nice. Now
NCC,
if they're
baby.
mean,
I think they'd be
yeah.
nice. I hope so.
There's always mean people and nice people in the world. There's
That's
probably
true.
some mean it's just how life works.
I
We are tired.
Anyway, yeah, that was my goal. It's the
My goal was stretching, which
Ooh.
I it was
I didn't
kinda
see you
like
stretch
with your
today.
no, I'd stretch at home
Mhm.
before I go to bed. So, I had what were my goals?
You do your extensions?
Yeah. I do that all the time, and then with my wrist because I have, like, a carpal that likes to pop out now, so I have to do a lot of stretching anyways during the day, but, like, my goal was to stretch at night before I go to bed, and I did it majority of the month. There were a couple of days where and I know I said it in the last video, that I've been tracking my sleep and trying to go to bed by 9:30, and I said, "If the stretching gets in the way of that, then I'm not gonna stretch that night." So there were a couple nights where I had to choose between stretching or bedtime, and I'm choosing bedtime right now because if not, Blake will just stay up and stretch and watch a show while she stretches, and it's just not good. Then I'm back to, like, going to bed at 10:30. As you can tell, today I'm tired.
Like 10:30? What?
Yeah. So I there were a couple days and then I had some family out.
That's true, yeah.
Um but my mom was cool with it. Just the first night she's like, "What are you doing down there on the floor?" while she was staying in my room with me. I'm
Mhm.
like, "Oh, I'm stretching. It's a goal I have for this month." And she's just like, "Okay."
It's like, "That's
She
not
probably just
good,
thinks
having
I'm really
goals."
crazy right now because I'm like, "Okay, I have to eat my food. I have to do this." And then when we go to Utah, I have to bring all my food with me. And sometimes she gets it, and other times she's like, "Well, I mean, you could have like some popcorn, right?" And I'm like, "Mom, if it
Wait,
doesn't fit into my macros right now, I can't have it."
are you guys flying or are you guys driving?
But we're driving because
Oh.
I have the kids and the dog.
Ah, that's right. So that's what, like 10,
Yeah.
12 hours?
It's 7 hours?
I don't know.
Yeah. So, it's gonna be fun, it'll be good. So, this month, I kinda have, like, 2 little goals, and one is to I just had it before I sat down too, and then I
No
put my computer
stretching. Yeah,
on
that's what you've
mute,
been
and
doing. But
so I
yeah.
had the stretching for last month, but this month for
Who wants to get
April
first place?
yeah, I want to be confident, like, I'm so, like, done, be confident. I wanna push myself, and I want to, be present, be excited, and do lifting, and then after that, I want to go into, like, more of a recovery for April. Right? And that could be doing some classes. So to me, my beginning of my April is going to be very jam packed. I am lifting heavy. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be present. I'm going to do my thing. And
That's right.
then the back half is going to be very like relax and recovery for me. So it's kind of like an in betweenish goal month
Yeah,
of
which is fair
having a whatever goal.
because you have. So I guess you have the goal of just completing your competition successfully. That's a big one, right? It's like
Yeah, that's like thank you, that's what I mean, like, going in there and doing the
kicking butt,
competition.
doing it,
Yeah,
and
and just
culminating to this moment.
being successful in it, I think that's, like, the biggest thing, for me, and then after that, just having a complete, like, the rest of April just relaxing
So
and recovering.
exciting! Yes, I'm pumped. This is it.
So
This is
it
it.
is, and it's kinda like the last couple days, or I don't wanna say the last couple days, like today, and then there was a week last week that I just got completely nervous.
Girl, you just gotta walk in there and be like, "This is how we do it." Ba-da-da-da-da. Yeah.
Mm,
Then you're gonna
mm.
see Terry Joe in the back. This is how I do it. It's Sunday
It's
night.
Sunday
Is it Saturday or
night.
is it? I thought it was Sunday night.
Sunday morning. Yes, Sunday
It's
morning.
Sunday morning. Gonna feel alright.
Feel
I
alright.
got my grandkids by my side. See, I'm telling
Alright.
you. Oh snap! It's getting there. It's gonna be so much
Yeah.
fun, dude. How freaking exciting! You've been
I
working
am
so
I'm
hard.
so ex I'm so excited also to watch everybody on Saturday.
Mhm.
It's gonna be fun. I wish I was going on Saturday with everybody else, or at least Friday, so then I can eat
Yeah.
whatever I wanted.
That I mean, you just have to hang out one more extra day. One more extra
I
day. And
know,
that's gonna pay off in May,
but
girlfriend. You already know.
it is, and that's the thing, like, I have to sit and be like, "Hey, this is your goal, you knew that
Mhm.
you're in a weight class, you know these things, so do you really want it? And if I really want it, then, I just gotta stop crying about it and just do it."
Just do the damn thing.
And that's why I was in class walking circles around Joycey while I was waiting for everybody to
Doing her
come, and she's like,
steps.
Are you walking around me?"
You're like, get it together. Get out there and win it. I will accept nothing less.
Girl, there's some heavy hitters. I'm just happy to be qualifying for
That's
it.
what I'm
It's like
saying.
quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Happy to qualify and know that there's
It's
just
an honor.
amazing women and men lifting out there that are older also.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's yeah. So it is. Like my April goal is kind of wishy-washy to me, but it's just because
There's so much
that's
more.
technically like my end goal for weightlifting for April.
Mhm.
Like that's the competition that I've been getting ready for. So
It's like your goal for the past 12
yeah, and I think
12
it's
years.
just awesome because I had to qualify for something and it's just,
It's hard.
hearing Masters Nationals, it just feels very like I accomplished
So
something,
legit.
and yeah, and I'm just excited to be there, and also, like, people that I follow on Instagram and maybe see them
That's
lift
so
in
cool.
person instead of stalking them on, Instagram, whether they're big names or not, because there's some that I just follow that are also in, like, our WSO area, and I'm just like, "Oh, I hope that I can see them in person or, wish
I'm
them
sure.
luck or see them lift." Yeah. And then
You're
seeing
so
all
right.
of, our girls and Andrew lift is gonna be fun, so
How exciting. I know
yeah.
it's making me all
And then
giddy about NCC too, because it's like we've never would have thought that we'd be in events that would be with, I guess, athletes that we would consider elite or that we see like in social media. Now we're
yes.
going to events where like, oh man, we're kind of part of the group now. Like that's crazy. Like you see
Yeah,
you
it's
like leveled up like in the
mhm.
athlete, I guess pyramid of, athletic success. Like you're
Because
moving up
we're
that.
savages, but we're still skilled members.
That's true, guys. I'm doing the skill division. Hey, and the only way we do, right? Savagely skilled.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
you still gotta shoot for it, like
true.
how I was telling you, your first quarterfinals compared to your second one, the just watching you and how much you've grown is
Yeah.
just bananas. So, seeing that and seeing that you qualified for NCC, like, that is something to just be like, "What would we have done a couple years ago?" Would we be like, "Yeah, I really wanna do it," and then never sign up for it? Or getting the confidence in what you want and what we want out of CrossFit or what we want out of lifting that also translate into our daily life of confidence and shooting for something or even planning something out and knowing that it's probably going to take, these five tasks to complete one big thing. That's also what it can translate over to. It kind of sounds like a cult when I think of that.
We drank the goose.
Join
The goose
CrossFit
used to
because it
be
will better your life.
at least I don't know, at least it's a healthy one. At least when people
It
mention it, they're like,
is.
"Yeah, it's kinda culty." They're like, "But at least it's a healthy cult, and it's not like you guys are getting together and drinking and I'm like, "Yeah, I guess that's true." But
It also, helps you to be like, "Okay, what is important in my life? Me being healthy for my family.
mm,
Also, do I have a CrossFit that my kids also enjoy going to play with other people's kids there, and I know it's safe, or that I've built relationships where, I go tell my kid, 'Hey, go talk to Auntie Joycey,' and she'll go talk to you." There's things like that where it does help me in my regular life. If I can do these skills in a gym and nobody's really forcing me to, then I can go to a job and do the skills also. I can have the confidence to do that because I have it doing this. There is some things that can translate over with certain things that you do in your life. Or it can translate from your life into the gym. You having a shitty day at work. You might have a shitty day at the gym if you don't leave it at the door and just realize that you're doing something for yourself.
amen, girl.
It's just what you want from it. And I feel like setting yourself up for success and setting certain goals and really asking yourself, is this what you really want? Do you have a
Why is
ghost?
there
What?
more space there and no space here?
Oh, girl, who put that up?
I don't know. A ghost! That was not like that.
Are you
Sorry.
sure? You want me to look
I
at
got
other videos?
distracted. Weird. Weird. Why has nobody called me out on it? How dare y'all?
I didn't know until just now. I was like, what the hell is she looking at?
Look at that.
Yeah, there's a big space. Somebody put that up wrong.
I put it up a long time ago. I can't believe I never noticed it till now.
I might have to look at
Little
other videos now
distraction.
and be like, has it always been
Put
that
it as a
way?
poll question on the Savagely Scale. Is
Yeah.
that always
Has
been
Joyce's
there?
pictures always been uneven and nobody wants to tell her?
Interesting. Anyways, total tangent off of your goals, but no, it's been
Well, I'm
it's been
looking
a good
forward
year.
to
Yeah.
April for both of us.
Girl, yes. April and then May. And then we got May, a lot of stuff going on in May.
Gonna be
Party for
fun.
you, NCC for me. I'm still gonna eat the things though. That's
May's gonna be so fun.
I know. You're gonna be like, no, I'm done. No more pressure. Just it's been taken care of. I'm done. Now I'll be like, I still got one to go. Nah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. And it's my first individual comp, so that's gonna be interesting. It's
I
gonna be fun.
know, that's gonna be so much fun. That's something that I was always wanted to do. And I
Yeah.
think it's still like a CrossFit competition individual would be fun. A teams one with you would be fun.
You gotta
I
get one in the
I
book.
guess I could say weightlifting is individual, but it's not the same like CrossFit individual to
Yeah.
me compared to weightlifting. You there's there's a lot of, I don't know, there's more movements in an individual competition than I have to go out there and just I get 3 chances at snatch, 3 chances at clean and jerk. There's a lot though, like, of who's gonna steal your time, who's gonna do this, your coach doing all that stuff. Similar to, like, when you have, like, those competitions where you have, like, moving pieces, like, is this workout going to give
Well, that
me
floating workout or whatever?
yeah, things like that. Can that bump me up where I can on a workout that I'm not as good as,
Mm,
place okay? There's all kinds of things. Both just
I forget
drive
about
you
that.
crazy and take so much adrenaline out, but both are fun. Yeah. The adrenaline dump is so real.
It's so real. It's definitely real.
Yeah.
But it feels great at the moment.
It does.
Oh.
Or there's times where I'm like, "Nah, I don't wanna do it."
Mhm.
"You're going up next." "No, I'm okay." You tell that person, I'm okay."
I don't know, your mom said it, you're a performer.
I love performing. I'll be great.
Yeah, you're gonna be
Either way, I'm gonna have fun. I'm excited that my kids are gonna see me lift. I'm excited my mom and my uncle are gonna see me lift. I'm excited for the girls also.
Are you
It's
gonna wear
just
glitter?
oh yeah, like I did last time.
Nice.
Yeah,
I bet
in
they'll
my
be pissed.
hair, on my body.
Yeah.
It's exciting, and then you get to be on a platform, and there's lights, and everything that you've done that your coach has programmed for you and that you put in the time and the work it really is, did you put in your time and your effort? It's all done there,
Mhm.
you know? And and it could be your day or it might not be your day. It's hard to I don't know, I feel like CrossFit competition, I could have, like, a bad workout and then be like, "Okay, I know the next
Redeem
3
myself.
are."
Yeah.
Yeah, to where you can get so in your head missing lifts that it will just carry on, or if your weight is I don't know if you're at the lower end and then you have to continuously lift after yourself and there's nobody in between, like, that's tiring. It's a different, like, mindset, and then you're backstage. There's some people who do amazing backstage, and then they get on the platform and, it doesn't go well. Or you can, like, do horrible backstage, and then you go on the platform and you're like, "Oh, I'm actually doing really good." It's so it's the most different thing that I've ever done. Like, performing on a stage, I've done since I was younger, but the mindset and the mind effery that happens is just bananas, and you could either love it or really hate it, and it's fun. I will say that adrenaline dump and the adrenaline you get is so fun and just being in there. I can only imagine it's like going to a CrossFit event like we have and getting excited, but actually like seeing platforms and seeing the seating and the lighting and the music, and you're like, oh my gosh, people are doing crazy things.
That's
Like
crazy.
that's what it's just like a fun thing to do, and I'm excited. And I hope my mom and my uncle have a good time with the kids there.
Oh, I'm sure. I think it's gonna be like you said, they're gonna have a good time, and it's gonna be a great opportunity for the kids to see what their mommy can do and have a chance to see their mom do great things. I think that's always very, like, illuminating for kids as maybe as little as we pay attention to it, but they really do look on parents for encouragement and motivation and get inspired by things like that. At least when I talk to Harper sometimes that when I give her rides to camp,
Yeah.
she does, like, mention, like, "Oh, we have to go to the gym because my mom needs to lift." And I was just like, "Oh, isn't that awesome?" And she's like, "Yeah." So it's like I feel like, it's hard to see the day to day and the impact it has on the kids, but they see that like every single day. And it's beautiful that they're gonna be able to see you in such a big stage and cheer you on and do all the nice things. Like that's
And they're gonna
huge.
be with their friends also. I mean, Maggie and Andrew are bringing the kids.
There
Jay
you
is
go.
bringing her husband and her kids. I know Rachel's bringing her daughter. Like, there's gonna be kids there too. Not to mention, like, Rochelle's lifting, but her daughter Ella's lifting, and then you have Bear
Mhm.
lifting, those kids. So it's also fun for our younger kids to see, oh, well, like, 3 more years and I'm as old as Ella or I'm as old as Bear. Maybe I can try it. There's things like that that can be done, and it's always we wanna grow that next generation into wanting to do these things and also make it healthy and fun for them and something that they accomplish, because we do have them do a lot of teamwork, but it's also like individual work's really fun too, to know that you can do something all by yourself. um you know th- m- Minus, like, of course you have a coach guiding you, but it's you who has to lift on the platform. Yeah.
You're gonna do the thing.
So
It's gonna be
yeah,
amazing.
it's gonna be fun. We're just gonna have a good April, and I'm so proud of you for all the stuff that you've accomplished already in, like, the 3 months of this year.
Aw, thanks, babe. Ditto. I can't wait
Yay.
for next month when we're gonna talk about our recap and we're like, "Oh, another medal."
Yeah, I love you so much, but
Well,
these women are, like, my age, like, 35 to 39, and they are lifting some crazy numbers that I can say, like, on my birthday, I lift a 66 kilo snatch, and my goal for this year was 65. So I've done my goal. That was my goal. Now I need to lift my 82 clean and jerk, or I would love to get 85. But I hit my goal of what I wanted for my snatch at least. I've also, got a new total on Friday. So there's things that I'm like,
I
I'm
won.
really glad that I have those good days, because there's a lot of women out there who my total right now is 146. Their total's like 190. So I'm like, you do that. You do that. I'm doing
Oh,
great because I've only been lifting for like a year, but you do that. And I'm gonna
that's
watch you and
wild.
cheer for you. And I'm just gonna try to lift as heavy as I can.
That's right. That's right. But like you said, some people have good days, some
So
people have bad days, you never
I'm
know. But
so
you're
glad that you never know. But on that note, if you wanna make me a medal, I'm not gonna be opposed to that.
with the yogurt lid.
Yeah, this is for you and how happy I am for you.
Team spirit.
Yes.
And for lifting
Uh
the day by yourself. Here you go.
Yeah, I will say though, I do wanna, break some more records for WSO. So that's probably gonna be what my goal is gonna be for out there, is doing something that's more for um WSO than for the actual Masters Nationals. I'm just happy to be there and to qualify for it. But I wouldn't mind breaking some more lifting records for that
It's just lifting
portion.
records for Blake. I mean, you already beat
Yeah.
your
Did you
records.
walk away with medals? No, but I broke some
I
records
broke my PR.
for
Yeah.
Arizona.
The
Yeah.
PRs are still a big thing because sometimes we stick on the same PR for months, years, and never break that.
Oh, girl. I was just talking to somebody about that. I was like, it's hard when you come into something and you look and you're like, everybody around me is getting PRs, even if they're small PRs. Right? And you're like, I've been sitting here and sitting here and sitting here. Sometimes you do have to look at yourself and be like, okay, what can I do different? What do I need help with? How is my body? How's my nutrition? How's my sleeping? Are those affecting it? Or is it where I'm at? Is it my age? Is it how many hours I'm training? There's so many things, but we all get that. We all have where we don't PR for a long time. It can happen. And then when you get to an age where you don't PR and you start going, that's going to be me at 80. Hopefully 80 is when I stop peaking.
We're barely halfway.
Yeah, right. And then next year when I turn 38, I'm done. I don't need to do this anymore. I'm fine if I don't PR again.
I'm like, if Dave could do it, man, I just hope I'm at that
And
point.
that's a thing, like talking to those athletes in your gym who are like, "Hey, do you PR like every month?" There's more when we have some newer lifters right now, and I get so excited because I'm like, "Ooh, you get to PR like every week or every month for a little bit." Or get excited because you don't have those numbers, or if you don't have numbers for things, And I'm like, "Put it into Sugar WOD because that's a PR."
True.
Right now it's your personal best or, you need to be happy for that. Just know that, yeah, as you do that, things are gonna get heavier and you have to be okay with not PRing
Yeah.
every week or every month. Because then it's like, "Okay, what do I need to focus on? Because was I just lifting it and I wasn't being technical?" Because that's what happens. We can all be super strong sometimes and just lift something off the floor. But you have to be very technical about it and be like, "Okay, what's gonna help me?" I w I had the same snatch for several years, and then I did lifting, and I did get better, and that's because it was slowed down. Sometimes in our classes, we can't slow it down, and we have to move on. So it is. I'm not saying that if you want to do that, join weightlifting. You can find a coach that has programming if you just want to do that and still continue in class. Or if you do want to be like, you know what? I do want to slow this down even more. I want to do weightlifting for a year to learn more about lifting and then I'll go back. There's so many things because professional athletes can do that too. They can be like, I'm going to take a year off or I'm going to try this technique or that technique and figure out what's gonna work for me and get me better.
True.
And that's the whole point of goals. No matter how small, they're going to help you get to the big picture.
That is true. So we gotta keep
Yep.
going at 'em, girl.
Blank. If you feel like this podcast is your swig of pre-workout,
That's right.
please hit those 5 stars, leave us a review, leave us a comment on Spotify. Let us know what your next goal is. If you like these check-ins, we love hearing what your goals are in our gym. If you're listening to us from a different gym, please let us know what your goals are. We'd love to cheer you on. If you go to the best affiliate or you're an owner of the most amazing affiliate, please let us know because we'd love to put you on our affiliate segment and we would love to come visit you, tour your gym, take a class, talk to your members and talk to you about how you're changing your community and what your community thinks about you. But please don't be a Karen.
Be a share.
And keep sharing. It really does help us if you share these episodes or if you share with a friend and be like, hey, you've talked about goals. These two girls are doing goals. They've done them different ways. And we think you'd love to hear about it. So please share with your friends. But I was just be like, but remember, no.
To
And until
me. At the
at the
whiteboard again.
whiteboard again. Bye.